Okay, I understand that this is going to be a hot take, but unfortunately somebody needs to say it. A lot of the I hate men propaganda that is put up on the internet is not actually rooted in decentering men. It's not rooted in the political and physical violence that men have perpetuated against women as a system. It's rooted in women who intentionally choose shitty men and then get up in arms when that man treats them like shit, as if the cards weren't on the table. And I feel like this is a hot take because a lot of people like to say, well, don't put the omen onto women for men acting like shit. And to an extent, I do agree. However, it is important to accept that there is a degree of agency here. Because if you know that a man ain't shit and you still choose to be with him, that is a personal choice. It's one that reflects your lack of self-respect. I'm sorry, I said it.
How do you get your husband to treat you like a princess? Because I act like a literal fucking princess. He's the king. I submit to him. I make him happy. I respect him. I don't act like a fucking feminist little rat. Like, he is my king. And I am so nice to him, and I love him, and I'm gentle with him, and I'm sweet with him, and I'm feminine with him. And I don't act like a little fucking competition against him, and I don't make him do shit all the time, and everything that I do gets returned tenfold. I don't have to ask for shit. He just does everything for me. Because I act like a female and like how a woman should act. Because I'm literally a princess and I don't care about equality. Because I will submit to that man in a heartbeat. And have I ever not gotten anything I wanted? Nope. He gives me every fucking thing I want. It's really not that hard.
Men are not intimidated by feminist women. And this is something that a lot of feminist women tell themselves when they are too like loud or harsh or something, and then a guy like doesn't want to be with them anymore. They tell themselves, oh, he's just like so intimidated by me, like he couldn't handle my greatness. That is not true. Men just find those types of women annoying and like unpleasant to be around and like stressful. It's not worth it. That's what they're thinking. No man has ever been like, oh, that she's so intimidating, like she's amazing and so intimidating, I like can't be around her. Those traits in a woman, being loud, being like mean and angry and selfish, those are not good traits. Those are not good things. And a good man is not going to stick around or like chase you or like do any of that kind of stuff if you possess those traits. And unfortunately, a lot of modern women do, and a lot of feminist women do, and they think that those things are good. If you're looking for a good man, those things, they gotta go.
Feminism is not about equality anymore. It's about tearing down men and stripping women of their true power. The original idea of feminism was about giving women equal rights, the ability to vote, work, and have a voice. But somewhere along the way, it turned toxic. Modern feminism today tells women to hate men, reject families, and act like the very thing they claim to be fighting against. And here's the truth. Feminism didn't make women stronger. It made them miserable. It convinced women that being feminine is weak, that being nurturing, loving, and wanting a husband and kids somehow makes you less. That is not strength. That is pure confusion. Femininity is powerful. A feminine woman knows how to elevate her man, create peace in her home, and stand firm in her values without trying to be a man. Feminism breeds resentment. Femininity creates harmony, and that's the difference that nobody wants to admit. Ladies, you do not gain power by competing with the guys. You gain power by being fully feminine and letting men lead where they are meant to lead. Feminism destroyed that truth. Femininity restores it.
You want to know something that most women aren't ready to hear? Modern feminism killed chivalry. Modern feminism has shifted from seeking equality to promoting superiority and resentment towards men, framing men as oppressors rather than partners and equals. With the birth of modern feminism, there came the birth of the girl boss, I don't need a man. Chivalry was never meant to make women look weak. It was made to create a culture of mutual respect where men acted honorably towards women and acknowledged their virtue and grace. Modern feminism, by demanding sameness instead of equality, has blurred those lines. In trying to erase gender differences, it's erased the gestures that celebrate them. The result of this is now we have an entire generation of men who are not willing to honor, pursue, or protect women. We have this entire generation of men who just want to hook up on the first date, who have no respect for women, who don't hold open the door, who don't buy flowers, and it is because of modern feminism.
The criticism I get when I say things like, I'm not going 50-50 with a man, I expect a man to plan, execute, pay for a date, I expect a man to want to support me, is that it's very anti-feminist, and I am projecting these outdated gender roles that we have evolved past as a society. But regardless of whether I make those demands or not, I, as a woman, am still expected to do all of the emotional labor in a relationship, upkeep exhausting beauty standards, do 95% of the work it takes to have and raise a baby. So gender roles are not something that we have evolved past. Those are gender roles. Those are gender roles. Men only want me to drop the gender roles that make my life easier. They don't want me to drop the gender roles that make my life harder and their lives easier. If you're expecting me to uphold my part of the gender role bargain, you have to uphold yours too. There is so much work, seen and unseen, that women do in this type of dynamic. I'm asking you to pull your weight.
If I was a man, I would not want to be providing for any of you bitches. And that's not a slight against women, I swear. I just genuinely, if I was a man, I wouldn't want to be a provider. Like, if I got born a man, I wouldn't be devoting my life on how I could be a good husband or boyfriend. That sounds so freaking boring. Like, if I was a dude, I would basically be doing what I'm doing as a woman, which is focusing on travel, which would eat up all my money, so I would not be able to take anybody on dates. I'd spend money on video games and concerts, and I honestly, women would think I was a bum-ass bitch, and I'd be okay with it. But I think men are their own autonomous beings, and they should be focusing on the creative passions and themselves, basically, instead of focusing on roles they can be for women.
She admits that if she were a man, she wouldn't spend a second worrying about being a good husband, because frankly, subsidizing someone else's lifestyle at the expense of your own travel and passions is a bore. It's a rare moment of honesty where a woman acknowledges that the male role is essentially a life of service, and given the choice, she'd rather just play video games and spend her own money on herself. The reality is, when women stop caring about being valuable to men, men instinctively do the same. If there's no reciprocity and no shared mission, the incentive for a man to build a pedestal for a woman completely vanishes. It's a perfect look at the endgame of modern dating. Two people standing in the same room, both thinking only of themselves, wondering why the spark died.
That is unfortunate.
She's finally admitting what's been obvious to any guy paying attention. The entire I hate men movement is largely a massive coping mechanism for poor decision making. These women aren't actually decentering men. They're intentionally picking the most volatile, low value guys they can find so they have fresh content for their victimhood character arc.
Don't fall for it.
We finally have someone admitting that the intimidated by my success trope is just a massive cope for women who've traded their femininity for a personality that feels like a constant labour dispute. Men aren't shaking in their boots because you have a degree or a loud opinion. They're just checking the ROI on their peace of mind and realising the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Believe me, she's not worth it.
She frames her exhausting beauty standards as a service to men, but we all know that if she were single on a desert island, she'd still be checking the mirror. To claim that getting her nails done or buying a new outfit is labour for a man is the ultimate reach. She's taking things she does entirely for herself and trying to invoice a guy for the bill. The same goes for the work of raising a child. She talks about it like it's a chore she's performing for a husband, rather than the most fundamental human responsibility to her own offspring. She's essentially trying to monetize her own existence and sell it back to a man as emotional labor. It's a transparent attempt to justify her demands for a provider, because deep down, she knows she isn't actually offering a single act of service to the man himself. It's a parasitic mindset disguised as a fair trade.
It's ridiculous.
She's realised that when she stops competing with her man and starts acting like his softest place to land, he'll move mountains just to keep her happy. It's a simple incentive loop. He gets the peace and the respect he craves, and in return, he hands her the keys to the kingdom. She mocks the feminist little rats because she sees them struggling for scraps in a power struggle they can't win, while she's getting everything returned tenfold just by leaning into her nature.
Better late than never.
Real men of genius.